Okay, so yes, basically, very good evening, everyone. Let's start with the class now. So it's going to be our third session here. Okay, in the previous class, we already covered the SN1 mechanism there. I hope everyone you revised the SN1 mechanism there. So in today's class, the topic of discussion is going to be the stereochemistry. Okay, so I said that is the stereochemistry part here. That is the stereochemistry of SN1 mechanism. Okay, so what is the meaning of this word stereochemistry there? Stereo means like how it is connected with the space. Okay, so before starting with the stereochemistry, let's just quickly discuss about the you can say RS nomenclature. Okay, R and S nomenclature, because we are going to use this RS nomenclature right now in the stereochemistry part here. So let's discuss about the RS nomenclature. But before understanding this point, what is R, what is S, let's just first talk about the CIP rule. Okay, it's a CIP rule. So CIP rule means this rule gives the priority order, like which one got the first priority, second priority, third priority. Okay, so maybe you know little bit about the CIP rule. If you don't know, don't worry, I will explain to you here. So what is the meaning of the CIP rule? That is totally depend upon the priority. It's a priority base. So priority be like, for example, if let's suppose we are be like this is a carbon and this is the OH group is connected and this is COH group is connected, and let's suppose the chlorine group is connected, or let's suppose the hydrogen is connected. So which group got the first priority? Okay, so next question, ma'am, that what is the meaning of this word priority base, right? At least we know the priority rule. So first of all, in a priority order, the first priority is given to the atomic number. So first of all, you to follow the atomic number trend there. Okay, so atomic number wise, if you to check it for the atomic number, what is the atomic number for the oxygen? It's going to be the 8. How about the carbon? It's going to be the 6. What of the chlorine? It's going to be the 17. And for the hydrogen, it's going to be the 1. So according to the priority order, can you just tell me which one have the first priority here? Yes, please. Chlorine. Chlorine, yes, 17 is the atomic number, right? So first of all, it means that is the first priority is given to the chlorine there. Okay, cool. And then second priority is given to the oxygen, yes. And the third priority is given to the carbon, yes. And then the fourth priority is given to this, yes. So this is a simple meaning of the priority rule there. That you have to given the priority based on the atomic number. But next question, ma'am, what if there is a tie for the atomic number? Okay, so second rule, that if tie, okay, if there is a type for the atomic number, the next priority is given to the atomic mass. Atomic mass means how? For example, if let's suppose this is my carbon and this carbon is connected with some, let's say, that is a hydrogen and deuterium. Next question, that between deuterium and hydrogen, which one have the first priority here? Is it deuterium or is it hydrogen? Think about it. Yes, please. Deuterium, right? So why? If you to observe that atomic number here, so it's going to be the 1 and 1, it's going to be the 1 and 2 there. So obviously the deuterium has the maximum priority here. It means we have to give the maximum priority to the deuterium here. Okay, so deuterium is the important part here. Okay, now what if, ma'am, there is a type for the atomic number, there is a type for the mass number as well, then how to check it? So the rule number 3 said that is, if first atom is same, if first atom is same, so you have to check it for the second. If second is same, then third, third is same, fourth, and five, up to so on. For example, how about the rule number 3? Look at this. If let's suppose this is my carbon and let's say this is connected with the CH3 and this is connected with the CH2 and CH3. So let's just use some number. This is my A and this is my B. Can you just tell me between A and B which one has a maximum priority here? Okay, B. Okay. So yes, very good. The correct answer is going to be the option number B there. So how? See, first of all, like how to record this. If you have to note it here, this is my carbon. This carbon is connected with hydrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen, right? So look at this. This carbon further connected with hydrogen, hydrogen and then carbon. Okay, not getting? Listen. That if you have to check it for this carbon, this is connected with hydrogen, hydrogen and the CH3 group there. So it means if you have to focus on the atom number first, so this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, this is carbon. So this is the meaning that written here, that hydrogen, hydrogen and carbon. And on the other hand, there are only three hydrogens there. So after there is a tie, if there is a tie for the first atom here, like the carbon and carbon, next focus is on what? That is the hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen, three hydrogen. And here hydrogen, hydrogen, carbon. So carbon is the maximum. So that's why this one achieved the first priority and followed by the second one. So it's a 1 and 2 there. Now, the rule number 4, that is the rule of duplicacy. Okay, rule of duplicacy. Like, what is the meaning of this rule duplicacy? Something is connected with the duplicate, yes. Okay, so what is the meaning of this word duplicacy? For example, if let's suppose I give you a kind of option, if I'm having a carbon, okay, this is connected with the CH group. I'm sorry. Okay, like this. And the second is connected with CO CH3. So according to you, which one you have to prioritize first? Is it 1 or is it 2? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just use the A or B so that you can give me the correct answer. Okay. Let's just suppose this is my A and this is my B. According to you, which one have the first priority now? A or B? Okay, I'm sorry. Just wait for a while. Yes, please. I guess it's now visible. A. Okay. My question to you, why not B? Because if you have to check it for carbon, okay, so then you can go be like, ma'am, see if you have to observe this point here. Okay. See if you have to observe this point here, what is happening? This carbon, right? This carbon is connected with oxygen and hydrogen. Okay. Another one, look at this. I'm erasing the carbon so that the problem is not there. I'm simply explaining this carbon is connected with oxygen and hydrogen. So oxygen and hydrogen. Same here, this is connected with oxygen and carbon. If you are doing this, so it's not good here. Means what I want to explain to you. For example, if let's suppose we are having a carbon-carbon double bond, do you know how to solve this? That you have to follow the rule of duplicacy. It means if I'm erasing one bond, listen my point. If I'm erasing one bond, then how it does look like that you have to put one carbon here and one oxygen here, like this. Okay, same thing you have to connect. Not very clear. Okay, listen. If let's suppose I'm having a carbon triple bond. Let's just go with the simple one, carbon. So we have to remove one bond, simply remove the one bond. How we are getting? That is, we are getting carbon and carbon. Let's remove one more bond. So let's erase this. But we're getting carbon there. Further, if you to erase one more bond, how about we are getting here? That is a carbon and carbon. This is a simple rule. If you to remove the multiple bond, whatever be the atom, you to simply put there. For example, one more example, look at this. If I'm having a carbon triple bond, let's say nitrogen. Okay, like this. Same here. If you to erase the one bond here, okay, if you have to raise this one bond here, so what we are getting here, we are getting that is a carbon and nitrogen. Further, if you have to remove one more bond, so how about the case that we are getting carbon and nitrogen here. Further, if you have to remove one more bond, so it's become carbon and nitrogen. So this is a simple meaning here. In a multiple bond, we have to follow this. For example, one more, what if you are having double bond oxygen there? So how to remove this? If let's suppose I'm removing this oxygen from there, so we are getting oxygen connected here, oxygen like this. Okay, so let's just back here because we know the carbon valence is total 4. So then how about the case here that you have to consider this bond have to be break. Okay, and it is connected by like this is carbon and further oxygen. So it means I have to write one more extra carbon here. So it means you can say this carbon connected with oxygen, hydrogen and carbon. Similarly, if you to remove this one here, I'm erasing this. Okay, just write this is a carbon here. Similarly, that is carbon and oxygen. So it means we're talking about this carbon only, right? So it's connected with one more carbon there. Okay, now you can check it for this one. Let me just highlight this. Sorry, this is going to be the carbon. Okay, so now you have to tell me between this and this. Here, observe this. In this case, we are getting oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. But here, oxygen, carbon, and carbon. So obviously, A1 has the first priority. So which one has the first priority? This and this. Okay, 1 and 2. Because maybe it's not very difficult for you right now. But yes, when we are having very giant groups, so sometime it will be difficult for you. Okay, so that's it. So means what is the moral of the story? The moral is very simple, that you can say, if let's suppose I'm having a carbon, okay, again, this is my carbon, and if it is connected with carbon carbon triple bond, carbon carbon double bond, or a carbon carbon single bond. So how about the priority order there? This one has the first priority, second priority, and third priority. You can say multiple bond has first priority, then second priority, then third priority. Okay, this is the next rule of duplicacy. Simple. Okay, then now what if lone pair and bond pair is also present there? Okay, so next rule, which what the rule number? Okay, it's fifth rule. That is a rule number five. That you ought to give the maximum priority to the bond. So you can say bond pair has maximum priority over the lone pair. For example, let's just suppose you're having a nitrogen and this is connected with lone pair, let's say. Okay, this is connected with some CH3, and okay, this is connected with some hydrogen and OH group, let's say. So how about the priority there? So it's become OH first priority, carbon second priority, and hydrogen third priority, and now lone pair have the fourth priority. This is the rule, that is a bond pair has a maximum priority over the lone pair. Okay, rule number 5. Okay, now the next rule, that is a rule number 6. If cis and trans, so always be noted, cis one has a maximum priority over the trans. For example, if this is carbon, and let's say one side it's a cis. Wait. Okay. So one side, let's say this is cis, like this, and one side this is a trans, like this. So it means which one has the first priority? Obviously this is. So it's a 1 and 2. This is a normal CIP rule there. Okay. So any problem with the rule? How to apply the rule? Maybe I guess you're not getting that much clearly like what is going to happen there, right? So just wait for a while. Let's solve some question and this point will be clear for you. Okay then. So let's solve some question. Uh, just answer this question. I'm sorry. Okay. So yes, how about the priority for this red one, star one? I hope you know what is it. It's a chiral carbon. If you don't know about this, don't worry. After this, we are going to start with the stereochemistry. There we discuss about this. Yes, Sri Kumaran. So that we are able to find out the configuration. Is it R? Is it S? So that we are able to check that they are mirror images or not. In short, we are checking here is this optically active or not. Okay, that's it. This is the main agenda. We are just checking for the optically activity in all this thing. Okay, Sri Kumaran. Yes, please answer this question. Okay, first of all, we have to check it that this carbon is connected for different group. Yes. So let me just write hydrogen is also there. If it is not present there, it means the hydrogen is also there, right? So now, uh, there is a 1 minute for you, not 1 minute is more. This 30 second only. Okay, your time start now. Try to solve this, and then when I have to write the answer, check it then. Okay, please start now. Means priority wise, what are the first priority, second priority, third priority, like how to give the priority here. If you are done, please thumbs up. First OH. Okay, don't tell me, okay, because there's a four group. Okay, technically you're right. Okay, that means maximums wouldn't only solve the answer. Okay, done. So let's just continue. Let's see the priority there. First of all, how about the priority there? So the first priority is given to the OH group. Why? Because obviously it's a oxygen. Okay. Then look at this. It's a carbon. Yes. And this is also the carbon. Yes. But no, observe this. This is a double bond. It's a double bond. It's a multiple bond. It means the second priority is given to this bond. Yes. So it's going to be the second. So it's a 1, 2, and 2. And this is 3, and this hydrogen only 4. This is how you to check it for the priority there. Okay then. Now let's back to a discussion that why these all these things started priority in all these things, so that we are able to identify R and S nomenclature. Okay, R and S nomenclature. So listen my point. What is the meaning of this word R? So R, that first of all, how to go with this? You have to find out the priority. Okay, priority. And then with the priority, you have to check it for clockwise. If the direction of the rotation is clockwise, it's become R. If the direction of rotation is anti-clockwise, it become S. But there is some term and condition apply. What is this term and condition? That for this part, there is a not for you, not. That fourth priority group. Okay? Fourth priority group should be present. It should be present at wedge position. Okay, so let's apply the rule. How about the rule there? For example, if let's suppose, let's just solve this question. Okay, this question, the same question. I'm erasing all this thing now. Let me just consider this is a, oh wait, this is my wedge and this is this. So yes, same question. What do you think about the rotation for this red one? Same question. Priority we know because we just discussed about this. It's a priority number one, it's a priority number two, it's a priority number three, and so forth there. So check it for the rotation there. How to rotate the molecule? Okay, this is the first question. I will help you. That is, you can say 1, 2, and 3. So how about the rotation? Look at this 1, 2, and 3. When you to rotate the molecule, we are not going to assume there is any fourth group is present. Just simply go from 1, 2, and 3. So what about the rotation there? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Think about it how the clock rotate like this. So this is clockwise direction. This is clockwise direction. It means it is going to be the R. Yes. No, but no, there is a not. What is the not? The priority group, the fourth priority group should be at wedge position. So check it. Is it wedge? Yes, this is wedge. So it means R is going to be the correct answer here. Okay then. Now next question for you. One more question, and for this one you to answer. Don't focus on this. What is this? Just try to answer the question only. Hmm. For this one. And every time you to check it, the particular thing is the particular carbon is connected for different group or not. Chirality play a very much important role here. Okay. Yes, please. I know the molecule look very weird. Okay, this is not the topic of discussion right now. Just focus on the star carbon. You to check it for the priority and then identify the answer simply. Okay. R, R, NT. Okay. If it is NT, then I guess it's going to be the S, right? Okay. So maximum voting basically for the option number R. Let's see what is going to be the correct answer. Okay. So let's just back here. S. Okay. So let me just check. I also don't know the answer here. So let's just discuss about the priority first of all, right? How about the priority there? So look at this. First of all, we go with this. This is a carbon, carbon and carbon. It means there is a type for the atom number one. Okay. Then we have to go further. Like the next is going to be the oxygen. Okay. Here we are having a second atom is oxygen. Okay. Carbon. Okay. Again, it's going to be the carbon. Right. So it's a carbon and carbon. It's a carbon and carbon. Still, we are not able to, you can say, understand. So out of all the cases, this one got the first priority. The COH one is the first priority there. Okay. So if you to observe this carbon, let me just mark this red one. Look at this, the red one here. Okay. So according to this, let's just observe this carbon. So this carbon connected with one hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. So this carbon is connected with, you can say, carbon, hydrogen, and hydrogen there. Okay. Let's just back here. Look at this carbon. This carbon combined with carbon there. Okay, and further it is combined with one more carbon. So you can say this carbon is connected with carbon. Okay, and hydrogen is also there. Okay. So wait, maybe you're not able to understand. I'm repeating one more time this point. Okay. Okay, so let's just back here. This is how the molecule look like. Okay, so what we're discussing, see, there is a tie for this and this carbon. I'm considering this carbon. It means there is a tie for the first carbon. Then you to move further. If you to go, look at this green, this is a carbon, and further, if you to observe, this is a carbon. It means again there is a tie for the carbon. Now we are going to check in for the next atom here. So how about the next? This is the important point here. So let me just explain this point to you. That now focus on one more. Let's just use okay, this color. Okay, so observe this carbon, we are strictly talking about this carbon and this. You can say this orange and orange is the same carbon, means same number of carbon is going on. So this carbon is further connected with one more carbon. Okay, so you can say with respect to this carbon, what is that the point? Carbon. Okay, carbon, because observe this is also a carbon here, carbon and hydrogen, this is the meaning, the first one. And if you to observe this carbon, okay, we are talking about this one, right? So this is connected with hydrogen and hydrogen, it means hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. So look at this, carbon, carbon, hydrogen and hydrogen, hydrogen, which one have the first priority? Obviously three carbon and one hydrogen, two carbon and one hydrogen is there. It means in the priority order, if you to give the number here, so this one achieve the second priority. So you can say this one second priority group. Let me just erase all the things so that you are able to understand only the important point. Let me just erase this. Yeah, that is carbon, carbon, hydrogen, and here we're getting hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. So this is the second priority one. That this is the only thing we are able to understand here, otherwise the question is easy. So 1 2 and 3 there, 1 2 and 3, and it's a fourth priority group again. Now let's rotate the plane here. So it's a 1 1 1, this is my 1, this is my 2, and this is my 3. So this is the direction, 1 2 and 3, 1 2 and 3. So what is this? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Maybe you are getting your answer now, because so many students you answer the question that is R. It's not correct. Okay, so what is the correct answer here? This is anti-clockwise. If this is anti-clockwise, it is going to be the S. And no, 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 check it. Is this H is at the which position? Yes, this is at the which position. One more, you want to try? Let's solve one more. Last, okay. Maybe you're not able to get the answer very quickly, okay, because it's a stereochemistry. I'm not assuming like you are able to understand this very quickly. It will take time, but it's very interesting. If you are having a very good knowledge of the reasoning and all these things, so it's easy for you. So, yes, for this. Now, did you notice something? Right now, I am not having this fourth that hydrogen at wedge position. This is at dash position. This is the important point here. Okay, first of all, try to answer the question whatever you are getting, and let me tell you the rule. How about the case here? If this is present at the dash, I'm sorry, it should be dash. Okay, please correct this. I'm really very sorry. Dash. It means this dotted line. Okay, and now wedge position. Sorry, I'm really very sorry. Wedge. So for the wedge position, if there's a S, it's converted in the R. If there's a R, it is converted into the S. Okay, so this rule you have to follow. Your time start now. It means whatever you are getting, just invert the configuration only. R, okay. S. No, 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 okay. Let me just explain what is happening. Simple, if this is at wedge position. Only at wedge position you have to invert the configuration. Let me just back here. If you have to observe here, the H is at the dotted line, or you can say the that is sorry dash position. So anti-clockwise means S. There is a no inversion of configuration take place. S means S. Okay. But on the other hand, in this case, okay, let me just solve this. Okay. How about the priority and order and all this thing? So let's just first discuss about the priority part here. Okay, so this is the carbon. So let's just go with the priority. So if you to observe, this is a carbon. This is also a carbon. This is also a carbon. It means there is a tie for the first atom. Okay, let's continue further. This carbon is connected with one more carbon. Okay, and two hydrogen. So let me just write in the bracket that how to check it for the priority. Okay, so with respect to this, so you can say with respect to this carbon, we are having a carbon, uh, hydrogen and hydrogen with respect to this carbon. Let's just go with this one. So here nitrogen, carbon and hydrogen. So let me just write here, that is here we are having a carbon, nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, let's just go with this side. Let's just write the double bond like this. Okay, let's give the priority now. So you have to follow the rule of duplication, right? This carbon double bond, so you can say one more carbon, and if you to remove this double bond, so basically one more carbon we are having, and carbon is also connected here, right? So there's a two carbon, and further if you to move this side, we are having a carbon there. So it means with respect to this carbon, with respect to this carbon, what is connected? Carbon. Okay, and carbon, and one more carbon. So let me just write carbon, carbon, uh, with respect to this carbon, this side carbon, carbon, okay, carbon and carbon and carbon. Yes. Now, which one got the first priority out of all the cases? Yes. If you to observe here, you're having a carbon, hydrogen, and hydrogen there. Okay, let's just see some numbering. A, B, or C. Which one has the maximum priority here? Okay, wait, I will explain. Okay, focus. This. Let me just move here. This is the carbon. This is phenyl ring. So you can say double bond, and double bond. So remember the rule of duplicacy. If you have to remove this bond, okay, let me just remove this bond. If you have to remove this bond, so what we are getting, that with respect to this, the carbon connected here, carbon connected here. Okay, next, that this carbon we are talking, it's connected with carbon, and if you are moving this side, so this is also carbon, right? This is also carbon. And if you have to move further, look at this. This is also carbon. So total three carbon. Observe this, one carbon, two carbon, and three carbon. Is this point clear? That how there's a three carbon? Was asking? Okay, then Diksha. Not an issue. Okay. So that's it. This is how we are getting. So priority wise, what is the case here? So if you have to observe here, carbon, carbon, and carbon, and here we are having carbon, nitrogen, and carbon. It means nitrogen is there, maximum priority group. So the first priority is given to this one, and the second priority is given to this, and the third priority is given to this because they are having carbon, hydrogen, and hydrogen. Okay. So after once we are getting the priority, so let me just remove this. I have to connect the NO2. Wait for a while. 1, 2, and 3. Let's rotate the plane. Okay, so what about the direction? This is clockwise or anti-clockwise? It's anti. So answer have to be 5. S. But no, 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 no. If you to observe, hydrogen is present this position, and it means you have to invert the configuration. So the final answer is going to be the R. Okay, final answer is going to be the R. Any problem with the R and S nomenclature? Okay, yes, there is a so many rule for different molecule. These things we are going to start in a stereochemistry, but it's enough for the today's class so that we are able to understand the that stereochemistry behind the SN1 mechanism. Okay, yes, please. Any problem in this R and S? Okay then. So let's continue further. Now let's just talk about that different kind of cases, SN1 mechanism, stereochemistry, right? So the today's class topic of discussion is what? Stereochemistry of SN1 mechanism. So in the previous class, we discussed about it's a two-step reaction. So let me just quickly give you an overview how it's a two-step reaction. First of all, you are having some carbon. There is some halogen group connected, and we are having three group, that R group, double bond, triple bond. It follow the step number one, that X remove. Okay, this X molecule is going to leave like this, and we're getting carbon has a positive charge. Then R dash, then R double dash, and then R triple dash. Okay. Now, since we're talking about the stereochemistry there, let's just discuss about this. If let's suppose this X is at wedge position. Okay, wedge position, because right now we are talking about the stereochemistry, and let's say this R is at some wedge position. Okay, like this. This is present at a wedge position there, like this, right? So if you have to observe something here, uh, look at this, it's a wedge and it's a dash there. Okay, so now can you just tell me, shall we have to do any kind of stereochemistry for this question mark as well? We have to assign any stereochemistry as well here? Yes or no? What do you think about this? There's any stereochemistry for the this? Okay, okay, okay. Do you know the basic rule of the stereochemistry? No, right? Why there is a no? Come on, what is actually the meaning of this representation? You know, in the previous classes we discussed about there is a some kind of plane. It's a carbon, two hydrogen inside the plane, and one is outside the plane, like toward the observer, and one is behind the plane, like this. You know, this is how it's represent. But we just discussed in the previous class, that is carbocation. What is happening? That my carbocation is what? Planar structure. So isn't it, it means like that is, this is one hydrogen, this is one hydrogen, this is one hydrogen, and yes, there we are having a kind of plane like this. It's a planar structure. It's a planar structure. So it means no need to represent the stereochemistry. No, it's normally a planar structure. So let me just back here and now observe this. Why not we can write be like this, that this is my carbon. Okay, this one has a vacancy like this, and then let's just connect all the R group. So let's see, this is my R dash, this is my R double dash, and it's going to be the R triple dash like this. Okay, now we are having a nucleophile. So it's a planar, this is a plane, triangular plane you can say. It's a plane. So now we are having a nucleophile. Okay, so let's suppose this is my nucleophile. Nucleophile is waiting. This is nucleophile and this is waiting. So there's a two chances. It's a plane, so maybe nucleophile attack above the plane, or maybe nucleophile attack below the plane. Above the plane or below the plane. Let's just suppose that nucleophile attacking above the plane. Okay, so if it is attacking above the plane, if it is attacking above the plane, so what we are getting, that you can say nucleophile above the plane means that nucleophile connected like this. Okay, nucleophile is connected like this simply, that is above the plane. And let's just write all the thing like R, and then R double dash and R triple dash. Or the condition number two. Maybe no, maybe the nucleophile attack below the plane. Let's just suppose this side, the green one, that is below the plane. Maybe it is attacking below the plane. Then what is happening there? So I can write that is this time my nucleophile be like this below the plane. Okay, and this R will remain same, R dash. This is a R double dash and this is R triple dash. Did you notice something here? That see the difference, that if it is attacking above the plane, nucleophile attack here. This is nucleophile. Okay, and if it is sitting below the plane, so it is going to be the des position. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is be like below the plane and like this. See the difference. See this point here, the difference is this nucleophile and nucleophile above and below. Okay, right now we don't know what is R and R. Okay, so let's just consider this is my S. Let's say this is my S. Okay, that when you do plane, the rotate the plane maybe S or R. So let's suppose this is my S. So definitely it is going to be the R. Why? Because obvious one is wedge, one is dash there. So this is S, this is my R. Okay, now we are getting a very important point here, that is racemization. Let me just write here, that is racemization. So what is the meaning of this word racemization? So let's quickly recall the stereochemistry. Remember that optical isomerism. There we discussed about D and L nomenclature. Remember or not? You know, that is a plane polarized, rotate the plane if in clockwise direction plus. Okay, and if anti-clockwise minus. Levo-rotatory and dextro-rotatory. This is dextro-rotatory and it is going to be the levo-rotatory. These things we already covered in the coordination compound when we are discussing about all these things, isomer and all these things, right? I hope you remember. Stereo, that plane polarized, right? Passing anti-clockwise, clockwise, plus R, minus R, right? So these things we already covered, right? So let me just back here. Now listen there. What if this is my plus 50? Okay, plus 50 degree rotation. If this is minus 50. You know, plus 50 minus 50, how much we are getting total? Zero. You know, plus 50 minus 50 combined, it's become zero there. So what is this? Racemization. That when R and S both are 50-50. So yes, now maybe next question, ma'am, is it optically active? Is it optically active? So can you just tell me, is it optically active or not? Think about it. Is it optically active or not? No, yes, no. Okay. So what is happening? One is rotating clockwise, one is anti-clockwise. So plus 50 minus 50 combined becomes zero. Zero means no deflection. According to us in a polarimeter, if you have to observe the rotation there, it's be like zero. It means according to us plane polarized light, sorry, that is a light not don't polarize the, sorry, light plane polarized light do not rotate the plane here. So it is optically inactive. Okay, so let me just back here now is again back here, that what is the meaning of racemization? What if this is 50 and 50? It's a 50 and 50, so plus r minus r, clockwise anti-clockwise both are combining and we are getting a racemic mixture. So it's a very much important point that in this case we are getting racemization. Next question, ma'am. Sometime the this kind of question asking a serration reason there. 100% racemization, is there is a any 100% racemization? So let's see what is the meaning of this word 100% racemization. So what is the meaning of 100% racemic mixture? Racemic mixture you can say, racemization you can say. So what is the meaning of this? If let's suppose we are having 50% R or let's say the 50% S. But what if let's suppose I am getting that 60% R or let's say the 40% S. So can you just tell me the final answer now? Plus 60 minus 40. So it's a dextrorotatory, right? But I'm asking about the RNS, okay? So what is happening there? It is going to be my plus 20% R. So isn't it racemic mixture? You can say, yes, there is a racemic mixture, but not 100%. Because only 40-40 combined become racemic, but 20 still left. It's not 100% racemization. So now, first of all, listen my point. In SN1 mechanism, there's a racemization. Yes. 100% always, may or may not. Generally 100% racemization, but not always. Not always we are having a racemization. But why? Why? Isn't it the positively charged carbocation planar? We are having a 50-50% chances, but still, why not 100% racemization? Because answer is very simple. Do you know what if this nucleophile already break? Sorry, that living group, not nucleophile. Let's suppose this living group is about to leave. Okay, it's not completely leave the molecule, let's say. Any chance can be there because we are just assuming positive charge. This is just our imagination. So what if that living group is there still, and now if nucleophile attacking from this side, that is from which side the living group living there. So hindrance there. So nucleophile be like, why not I am attacking below the plane or back from the living group. So it means sometime, yes, the living group hindered the molecule, and due to the presence of the living group, sometime we are not end up with the 100% racemization. Yes, generally we are getting 100% racemization, but not always. Okay? Maybe this question asked as a theory, like every time 100% racemization, your answer would be no, not always. Reason? Because sometime living group hindered the molecule. Okay? That's it. This is all for the stereochemistry. Now the next point for this, in this case, we are getting retention of configuration. Okay, SN1 mechanism is very famous for the retention of configuration. So what is the meaning of this word retention of configuration there? For example, let's just consider an example right now. If let's suppose this is my chlorine, this is my CH3 group, this is my CH2 and CH3 group, and let's suppose this is CH3, okay, hydrogen, let's say. Okay, this is my group, and I hope everyone you are now familiar with this. This is going to be my living group. Chlorine is my living group. Okay, so let's suppose how about the racemization, sorry, retention there. Look at this. If nucleophile came into the picture, okay, if nucleophile came into the picture, so what is happening? Carbon and nucleophile, and this is CH3 will remain same, and this is the CH2 and CH3 will remain same, and this is my hydrogen. If you to observe the same side chlorine, the same side nucleophile, so it's a retention of the configuration without any change in our stereochemistry. Simple, chlorine replaced by the nucleophile. It's a retention of configuration. Okay, maybe this point is not very clear here, but don't worry, when we start with the SN2 mechanism, there we are going to discuss about that is in SN2 mechanism. Yes, there is an inversion of configuration. It's a very famous Walton inversion. Okay, that's it. Now the SN1 mechanism finally ended. So let me just quickly brief right now what we discuss in today's class, that we discuss about in SN1 mechanism. Okay, there is a retention of configuration, first point. Then if we are talking about the stereochemistry, a planar carbocation, because that is the rate determining step, nucleophile may be attacked from above the plane or below the plane. Hence, technically 100% racemization have to be there. But sometime due to the presence of living group, okay, there is some crowd is there, some hindrance may be there, and just because of this, we are not getting 100% racemic mixture. Okay, so is this point clear for everyone? That how about the cases there? That's it. Any problem with the theory? This is all for the theory. The next class we're going to start with the SN2 mechanism. Okay, SN2 is very easy. If now you know what is R, what is S, it will be easy for you next class. Yes, please, any problem with the theory? Let me know. Okay, then let's all a question. Last question of the class. So, okay, what is the question? Okay, answer this. First of all, okay, what is the configuration for this S or R? Okay, next question for you. That you have to use a nucleophile. Let me just use a nucleophile. Okay, OH group, let's say. Okay, OH group. So, you have to identify what is the configuration for this one. First of all, you have to identify the configuration for option number A. And if this is follow the SN1 mechanism, what is the configuration for B? Okay, this is a question for you. Now you can play smartly if you know the concept. Okay, so yes, please answer this question. Both are. Are you sure, Aditya? Okay, maybe some of you will be like, ma'am, but in the second B1, you're not representing the veg or des. Then how to know? Okay, this is the my question basically. How to deal these kind of thing? Because I already told you the normal mechanism, right? No, 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 Aditya. Okay, no. Okay, what is the problem? What I want to really explain to you, if let's suppose I have to write be like it's SNR mechanism, okay, there is a retention of configuration, so definitely my OH is like this, right? So then you're very smart, like ma'am, what is the value for A? Same value for B. Okay, so in this case, in this question, I just give you a hint, okay, that how to solve. If let's suppose the question will be like this, okay, some of you like "Ma'am, no configuration, no wedge test, okay, be noted, this is actually the question. Anyway, just let me know about the A only, because you know B already, right? So yes, please, A. Okay, last question, please participate. R, R. Okay, so R is correct or not? So do we have to go with the majority or not? R. Okay, let me just check because I also don't know the answer here. So let's check priority wise. The priority number one. Oh, oh, this side, I'm sorry. So it's a priority number one, priority number two, and a priority number three. It's a priority number four. So very good thing that is H is already present at the wedge position. No, no need to change the configuration here. So let's see this one, two, and three. This. What is it? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Like this. It's a clockwise direction. If this is clockwise direction, so it is going to be the R. So the final answer for this question is going to be the R. Okay? Yes, please. Any problem if you are having with the theory, please let me know. Okay, this is all for the class. I hope you're able to understand. Still any problem left, please let me know, okay? Thanks for joining the class. Thank you so much, everyone.